Well, what's up, Neville? How you doing?
What's up, Jay? How you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing amazing. I'm really just pumped to have you on the show, talk some football with you, especially a Canadian star, which is extra special. You're from Ottawa. I'm from Toronto. Sens Leafs Battle of Ontario just ended. Got the little upper hand on you on that one. I'll try and ignore it for the sake of the video, but
It's
yeah,
all good.
thank you so much for doing this. It's really amazing.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But seriously though, the Sens had a great season, bright future on the way. I went to one of the playoff games and I sat next to Brady Kachuk's dad, Keith Kachuk, who's a
Oh
really
yeah,
nice guy. It was
yeah,
sick,
yeah, yeah.
sick. It was so much fun. Anyway, so Neville, how's the offseason been for you so far? Obviously, big move signing with the Colts. Just how excited are you about this new opportunity in Indy?
I'm extremely excited, man. I love it out here. They've shown nothing but love to me since I got here. I feel like we got a great team, great defense, got a lot of key pieces, and I'm just excited for the opportunity that the Colts have given me. They're a great organization, and it's already become my home away from home. I'm looking forward to get after it with these guys and turn it up this season.
Obviously, it's definitely a little bit of a difference from LA in last year where you were. But yeah, Indy's great. Indy's great. Anyway, so talking about last year, you were part of that division winning Rams team. You guys went 10-7 with a 4-2 divisional record. And now that you're with Indy, you're in a division that just really totally could be up for the takings. And you guys could totally go out and win the division. How important are those division games going to be when you guys go up against those rivals, especially against the Texans, who are probably your biggest competition in the division? How exciting and how important are those games going to be to you?
Those division games, man, they're important, but it's the NFL. Every game's important. I know the biggest thing for us is trying to win them all. Obviously taking it like game by game, but those division games are obviously gonna help us get to where we need to. But obviously, we're just looking forward to the challenge, man. We got all the pieces. We're looking forward to just get after it. I think we got a really good squad. Everybody's meshing. Everybody's locked in, and we're looking forward to surprise a lot of people this
I think you guys will. I really think you will. You guys got a great squad. And yeah, so I wanted to ask you though, obviously every game is super important. Winning it must feel great, but especially a divisional game on the road in your rival stadium, everyone there hates you. How sick is it to just shut them up and win that game? Is it better than winning a game like that at home? Is it better to win it on the road?
year. I feel like away games always hit a little different. Whenever you're going into the opposite opposing teams battlefield. They got their fans cheer, booing you. Every play that you make, it sounds to them. So I feel like it just hits a little different when you get a chance to play, away. Everybody's kind of counting you out, expecting you not to come away with a win. So when you do it, or when you're making plays, and you're giving the other team a hard time, I think it just hits a little different. Don't get me wrong, I love home games too. The atmosphere is definitely great, but those away games, those road games just hit a little different for me.
You get a good play and you go crazy. You Selly hit him up with one of these, like make some
Mm,
noise. It's good stuff.
exactly.
So as a defensive tackle, you've obviously had to play against so many talented offenses. And in those talented offenses, the league is filled with so
Mhm.
many mobile QBs who can just run the ball so well whenever they get the chance. And as a result of that, recently, like maybe the running back position has kind of taken a little bit of a back seat lately, but your Colts have a real one, man, and Jonathan Taylor. The dude is so talented, so quick, so explosive, just able to get all over the field.
Mhm.
Would you put JT up there in the top few running backs in the league, and how good is he?
Man, I definitely, that's why you said what you said, because you've done your research. I feel like he's definitely underrated. I feel like he's gonna do some amazing things again this year. But I'm just happy to be a part of a team where I get to see him do it, up close and personal. I've had the pleasure of playing against JT back when I was in Dallas, and he, if you watch the game, he definitely did his thing as always. So it's always cool, man. I definitely put him up there with whoever the top backs are, and I feel like he's gonna do even more spectacular things this year for sure.
Practice is probably hard for you guys. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But we don't get to hit him. We gotta protect him at all costs. So.
You maybe like a little hug or flag football, you know.
Yeah, just a little touch, man. Just a little love tap, man. That's all it is.
I was out to, you mentioned some of the top running backs around the league, and I wanted to ask you if there's one guy, one running back in the league who is most challenging to stop. Who would you put up there?
I mean, I'm sure it's no fluke. Obviously, that Saquon Barkley, just seeing what he did up close and personal is just different. He's just got the combination of everything. Speed, power, quickness, able to adjust on the fly. Again, I had the pleasure of also playing against him when we faced the Eagles, and it's a sight to see, man. Like he's definitely as great of a running back as he is. I know he's humble and he just wants to compete, and it was good to see him do his thing. But he's definitely one of those guys. I'm sure if he's probably top five in majority of people's categories as running backs right now, and he's one of those guys for sure.
His backwards hurdle this year was insane.
Yeah, nuts. It was crazy. I don't even think you can do that. I've never even seen that done in a video game. I don't know if you know about NFL Street Volume 2. That was, back when I played on the GameCube and the PlayStation 2. I don't think you can even do that unless you get like a game breaker or something. So it's pretty crazy to see that in real time.
I was gonna ask you about my Ravens, Derrick Henry, and
Oh
he
yeah.
had, he had quite the year for us this year. Just what's it like going up against him?
I haven't gotten the privilege yet to go up against him, but he's a freak too, man. When you see a guy who's built like he's supposed to be a defensive end, and he's just as fast as your skill play. He run 4.4, 6'4", probably over 230 or over 250 pounds, doing what he does and when he's toting that rock, man. Like it's also a great thing to see. He did his thing this year, and that's one of those guys, man. Once he gets going, he's very hard to stop. So, again, I didn't have the privilege. I don't know if I get to see him this year, but at some point, where this league works, man, you never know. So we get a chance to play him. I'm looking forward to going against him too.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So let's
Indeed.
let's focus on your defense for a second. The Colts got some great guys out there. You, DeForest Buckner, Zaire Franklin, Charvarius Ward, many more. If you had to single out one guy on the defense who you specifically feel will complement your game and you guys will be great together, like the most, who do you think it would be?
And man, it's such a tough question to ask because like just from the limited, the little time I've spent here, I think the defense as a whole, we just got so many weapons. Obviously, being on the defensive line, there's a couple guys you mentioned, but I just feel like the whole group, that defensively, I feel like we're going to surprise a lot of people. I feel like I can't just say one specific person. Obviously the guys you mentioned are elite. Zaire Franklin, DeForest Buckner. You got guys like Grover Stewart who's holding it down in the middle, like these go-to guys who's been a stakeholder in that defense. You got Tyquan, you got Latu, is going to second year. You got Quiddy, you got guys like Tommy. There's so many guys that if you even haven't heard much about them, I promise you're gonna hear about them. I feel like this defense is full of surprises. You never know who's gonna just step up and turn up. So I can't give you just one name, but there's a few guys. And, obviously I'm always gonna cater to the D line first. There's a few guys, or really the whole defense, D line as a whole, that's ready to go and get it. So
Let's
stay
just
tuned for
say,
that.
let's just say CJ Stroud, Cam Ward, and Trevor Lawrence better watch out.
Yeah, just like everything, you gotta prepare, man. Come ready to go and get it.
So Neville, being from Canada, you represent the country in the NFL. And yes, I know we have the CFL and it's great. But
Mm.
come on, we need a Canadian NFL team, right? It would be awesome.
That would be something, man. That would be really cool. I think hey, Canada has an NBA team. Why not? Why not? Like I feel like that would be great for the country. I feel like it just again gives us another opportunity to show just how how much fun or how much people are willing to tap into sports in Canada. I feel like it'll be great. I feel like that'll be cool, man. And who knows, man? You might be the first. You might be the one to make it happen in the future.
Let's do it. I would do it.
Come on,
We'll do it together, Neville.
let's do it. Why not, man? Why not us?
But the thing is, we're not putting it in Ottawa. It's gonna be in Toronto.
Hey, man, look, wherever the money's at, right? Wherever the money's at, we'll figure that stuff out later.
Exactly, exactly. So, Nello, for the first couple years of your career, you played for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The atmosphere, the fans, the vibe, just everything about it. I recently had Cowboys cornerback Deron Bland on my show. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I got to hear from his perspective what it's like to be a part of the Cowboys, what it's all about. But I want to hear from your perspective, Neville.
Sure.
Tell me everything about your years in Dallas.
Man, it was different, man. Obviously, it's always love for Dallas because that was a team who took a chance on me, drafted me. I had 4 great years there. There's nothing like, when you get drafted to that, when you be a part of a team, that's your first NFL. That's my first NFL experience. And, those fans were electric. Playing at home was just different. Obviously, I went to the University of Oklahoma, so that was just, for me, that was 2.5 hours up the road. But no, it was great. The fans were great. The atmosphere was intense, and playing for America's team, all eyes on you. And I carried that whatever pride. But that's football in Texas, man. The Texas football is just different. So, from the fan base, from the love out there, obviously the food, just being able to compete, and obviously the stars that came before us. Because obviously Dallas has a rich history. The many stars that came before, obviously many stars there now. But it was great. It was fun. I had a fantastic time. Made a lot of lifelong friends there. My family, we're still out there. Texas is always going to have a great place in our heart, man. But yeah, it was insane. It was nuts. Like every game, I want to say, was sold out for the most part. And the Texas fans, like Dallas fans, they're different. Like they turn, they get after. They get after.
They really do. They really. I actually like. I don't like to, but I feel like if I would have to compare their fans to any hockey team's franchise, I feel like it would be the Leafs.
You guys are nuts. You guys. I haven't gotten a chance yet to see. I was hoping I was going to get an opportunity to see you guys see that game in the playoffs, but I've been told.
Let's do it, Neville. Let's go to a Leafs Senators game together.
I've been told, man. I'm told like y'all Leafs fans are crazy. Like I heard you guys really get active, and you guys travel too. So it's always whenever a team got guys that got fans that travel, that fill out in the stadium no matter where they at. Like I know they ride, man. So
Leafs fans get hype. That's sure. So for you, Neville, this week 4 matchup is gonna be big for you. You're playing your former team, the Rams, which I'm sure it's gonna be fun. You get to see some of your guys in LA and then go on and beat them. How excited are you to go back to LA into SoFi Stadium, try and get a win in LA, see the guys and stuff?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. Also got a lot of love for LA because again they gave me an opportunity. Again made a lot of good friends out there, and I had a chance to get after that. But definitely looking forward to being on the other side of the ball, man. Going after those guys. Definitely see some familiar faces, and look, man, that's one of those games where just like any other team, gonna have to come ready, be on my A game, and I'm sure they're going to be doing the same. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to getting after that.
Any friendly trash talk going on?
Oh, that's always, that's all that always comes with. That's what comes with the territory, man. Anywhere that you've played at, and that if you're not there anymore, you got a chance to get that comes with the territory. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of little friendly back and forth, a lot of little trash talk, but that's a part of the game. Man. So you look forward to that.
So last question, Neville. There's some huge quarterback names in the NFL. Guys like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Anthony Richardson could be huge this year. The league has some crazy superstars. In your opinion, just who's the best quarterback in the league?
The best.
The best.
The best quarterback. That's a tough question. Just overall, you talk about leadership, like playmaking ability.
Overall, in you. You have to trust one guy with a minute left to try and get a drive. Who would it
Oh,
be?
that's tough. So look, that's tough, man. That's tough. So that's a tough question, man. Because like I said, wherever I'm at, this how I roll. Wherever I'm at, whichever team I'm part of, I gotta go with my home team. Well, my coach. I'm gonna trust whoever position, to go and get it. But I will say, one of the guys that I got a lot of love and respect for that I had a chance to not only compete against and play with, but I will say, Jalen Hurts. He was a guy that, if you talk about overall, and just from my personal relationship with him, overall playmaking ability, leadership, and when you just understand the story, and for what he's been through, what he's had to overcome, like I got a lot of respect for those guys. So I'm gonna reword the question. You say best. I don't want to.
I get
I'm
that.
always gonna go with my squad, but if you're talking like overall, just from my personal experience, his leadership qualities, playmaking, just from what he's done and how many, doubters that he had to, overcome and prove himself right. That man Jalen Hurts is definitely one of those guys, that just got a lot of respect for. A lot of respect for all the quarterbacks, man. It's a tough
I was
position.
looking for the right word instead of best. I couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
no, but it's all good. I understand what you mean, man. It's all good, but just sad NFL. There's so many great quarterbacks, and you get to this league, you got a lot of appreciation for those guys because they got a really tough job. They got a really tough job. So I respect to all the quarterbacks that's in the league, starter, rotation, practice. If you're a quarterback, it's mad love to you.
Right, for sure. For sure. There's tons of them. So, Neville, thank you so much for taking your valuable time joining me today on Jake's Takes. I know I had a blast. It seems like you did too. Did you enjoy our time?
Absolutely, man. And shout out to you, man. I remember you telling me you had your hockey trial, man. I hope that went well, and I hope you did your thing, man. I'm looking forward to hearing how that goes as well. But Jake, man, thanks a lot for the opportunity. It's been great. Real
Thank
fun.